Can I have your name?
My name is Noah Barajas.
All right. And I hear that you've recently joined Montco Radio, and I'm guessing you have a show on there.
Yes, I host a show called The Landfill every Thursday morning from 11 to noon. And I play mostly indie music, it's modern stuff from like the 2000s onwards for the most part. I play some, in terms of specific genres, I tend to play more like indie rock, post punk, some like indie pop, things like that.
And I hear that you've been turned on to the Beach Boys and their music, especially their later stuff. What's your favorite song that you've heard by them so far? I can say that without getting tongue twisted.
Um, as of right now, my favorite song by the Beach Boys, and probably my favorite song in general, is just because it's stuck in my head a lot, is "Heroes and Villains." I really like. Well, there's so far I've heard the version off "Smiley Smile," where it's the first track, and off of the "Smile Sessions" album, and I really like both of those versions. So it's cool.
And why do you like that song so much?
I think one thing that I like about it is, I didn't really realize until I started listening more to the Beach Boys, but it's got it. I didn't really realize this until I started listening more to the Beach Boys, but it's the opening song to one of my favorite movies, which is Fantastic Mr. Fox. And it's like a stop motion animated film that I really like. And another thing about it is like it's just the vocal harmony. Like in a lot of Beach Boys songs, there's a very like interesting vocal harmony, and even in some of the shorter songs, like there's different. There's a lot of changes and like vocals kind of melody throughout. Like it's interesting, they don't I don't know, it's not like like even with like sort of repeating lyrics and all that, it doesn't sound repetitive. Like it sounds fresh even though it's just like however many decades old. All right.
So what other songs besides Beach Boy songs have you recently discovered or have been told about by a good friend of yours that may or may not be doing interviewing you for a project?
A few other songs I really like are that I've found more recently are Ventura Highway by America, Dedicated to the One I Love by the Mamas and the Papas, Creek Alley, also by the Mamas and the Papas. Let me think. I know there's more. Here Today off of Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys.
So in any genre, any time frame, anything, what is your absolute number one all-time favorite song? Doesn't have to be something I showed you, doesn't have to be something old, it could be one new. What is your absolute favorite song?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a tough question though, because I feel like my favorite song changes all the time. Let me think. think I think generally, because sort of at a bit earlier this year, or like a few months ago, I got really into this one post-punk band based in London called Black Country New Road, and I've been obsessed with that band. Like I think when I started listening to their second full studio album, which is Ants from Up There, I kept listening to that album or like specific songs from it pretty much on loop for like a few weeks. I barely listened to anything else. And what's it off of that? There's a few tracks I really like. There's Chaos Space Marine, The Place Where He Inserted the Blade, and Basketball Shoes, the closing track. It's a good album, and I really like all those songs. But then my favorite song switches a lot, so it's kind of hard to say, you know.
I know the first time I heard the Strawberry Alarm Clocks, I was the same way. On Sins and Peppermints, it drove my mom up a wall for like the 2 weeks I was addicted to their music. But have you ever played any of these songs, the ones you talked about earlier and this new one, on your show, The Landfill?
Yes, I have. I kind of when I started the Landfill, I was kind of more specifically trying to do indie music, and then now I've kind of just expanded it to like whatever I like listening to. Really, it's old or new or what have you. I've played here. I think in my set or playlist last week, I played Heroes and Villains to start off, and then I'm also doing my show tomorrow, and we'll see if I include like a few older songs in that. Maybe we'll see.
And when can people listen to your show, The Landfill? I think you might have mentioned it earlier, but just give us a refresher.
So the Landfill broadcasts live every Thursday morning from 11 a.m. to noon, and you can hear it on Montco Radio, where music and minds meet.
Of course, you can go to MoncoRadio.com to listen. That's where you can actually listen to Montco Radio. So thank you, Noah. Hope people agree with your music taste. I sure do with the older ones, and that they tune into your show.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you for interviewing me.
You're welcome.